If you think that this audience in the MAGA movement, the hoplites, the Grundoons, the fixed bayonet crowd that fought the steal of 2020 and then had President Trump's back in the darkest days of 21 and were with him the entire time, particularly because he was right on the basic issues that were causing the destruction of our beloved republic, are going to now, after a massive come-from-behind victory, overwhelming victory, just sit there and roll over while the country's torn apart by oligarchs. It's not going to happen. And I always give full respect to Elon. Elon was absolutely central. Elon understood that this was about getting out low-propensity, low-information voters, and that the army of people from the Turning Points and from War Room and other groups, you guys that were, did the election integrity and then did all the door-to-door canvassing and get the vote, that, you were essential. He did write the check, and that gets him a seat at the table. I've said that from the beginning, although I fundamentally disagree with him on major issues like the Chinese Communist Party, like transhumanism, and like the situation around immigration. But they're going to make this bold.
Quick update on the MAGA Civil War, a.k.a. the really slow discovery that Donald Trump and Elon Musk used MAGA voters to gain even more power and control, only to now shove them aside. So Steve Bannon, who simped really hard for them, is barking about fighting with his fixed bayonet crowd, but is still too weak to name Daddy Elon as his enemy.
The Hate America crowd, and they hate America, the Hate America crowd there. And when I say hate America, they hate the United States of America, the nation state of America, and American citizens. They believe in some sort of techno-feudal situation like was in Italy back, I don't know, in the 14th and 15th century. These kind of city-states. What they want is a network. They want a network where they're like a city-state, control the network. And there's a bunch of serfs that work for them. Not American citizens, but serfs, indentured servants. That's what they want, and they're not going to get that. We're going to win this fight.
He literally calls out an oligarchical group that wants indentured servitude. But in the same breath, claims Elon deserves a seat at the table because he handed over hundreds of millions of dollars to buy Donald Trump. Hey man, this group of hoplites, Grundoons, and fixed bayonet guys that Steve is leading sound like they're all talk and no action.
Let me just restate something. As a fact, the H-1B visa program is a total and complete scam from its top to the bottom. And Elon's put out this tweet that, all his companies have depended upon that. Now, we'll go dig out the information from public documents and just I'd like you to publish, we would like you to publish every engineer that you've brought in on HB1 visa and let us determine, let's just see the information and see if American citizens could not fill those billets. You're going to find we still haven't seen, if all this going on, have they come forward with any examples? One example, from David Sachs to Vivek Ramaswamy to Elon Musk to any of them. Have they come up with examples of these Einsteins that the job could not be done by American citizen? American citizens come first. The problem this country in the last 40, 50 years is not just America hasn't come first, it's America last. It's American citizens last. No. We're not going to lose this fight, folks. We've faced longer odds before. We are not going to lose this fight. This program's a scam. It's an economic and financial scam, but it's got a dark underpinning of a hatred, and I'm saying a hatred of American citizens and our beloved republic. You're going to have to climb over our dead bodies to defeat us. We will never, ever, ever give up. Ever.
So in case you didn't know, the pre-inauguration MAGA civil war is over the Doge department's embrace of the H-1B visa program Bannon is now railing against, that Vivek and Elon are tossing in white people's faces as the tool they need to bring in more innovation. And now they're saying, you stupid MAGA Americans don't have what it takes. And in some cases, they don't, because we've sabotaged our education system and logical thinking by selling ourselves out to rich people for decades in exchange for empty slogans like, we're number one and make America great again. But when whiny libs were fighting our asses off for our government to give us a return on our vast investment into our country, we were shunned and called welfare queens and in favor of wasteful entitlements. The rich donors gave to both Democrats and Republicans to do their bidding, while Republicans told people to fight over how much they hate the next oppressed group, and Democrats installed flimsy programs to pacify us that were designed to not last. And now that the emotional bigots carrying Steve Bannon's bayonets won the last empty fight against minorities and trans folks, the oligarchs only have a couple middle fingers to give them in return, because they made the same mistake that they railed on progressives for making, expecting something tangible for their tax dollars and their vote. So Elon and them are paying them dust now that they don't need them anymore. The reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of companies that made America strong, is because of H-1B. Take a big step back and yourself in the face. I'll go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. And when MAGA loyalists thought, just wait until Daddy Trump puts this immigrant in his place, he unsurprisingly let them down by agreeing with him. I've always liked the visas. I've always been in favor of the visas. That's why we have them. I have many H-1B visas on my properties. I've been a believer in H-1B. I've used it many times. It's a great program, added Trump, who restricted access to foreign worker visas in his first administration and has been critical of the program in the past. Laura Loomer and several other formerly loyal suckers to the MAGA movement showed the instances where Trump railed against the program that he now supports because he, Musk, and his billionaire cabinet that's now forming, they need it to amass more wealth off the backs of more people. It's an obvious con that many people saw coming a long, long time ago.
Liberals told MAGA people about this already, but I guess we'll tell it again in light of this civil war between the diehard MAGA and the tech bro billionaires. We told you that when Elon Musk took over Twitter, most of the Twitter employees left. Not only did they have massive stock compensation, but most of them disagreed with the vision that Elon had for the platform. But there were ones that remained. That skeleton crew that remained were the H-1B visa holders, because they cannot quit or else they get deported. Them's the rules. They are what kept Twitter alive, what kept the platform functional. Elon Musk would never support strict immigration enforcement because of personal incentive like this. We told you this, but you guys can't synthesize information. So when it comes to the point that Laura Loomer, Matt Gaetz are demonetized and their blue check marks removed out of spite by Elon Musk, I don't take any pleasure in it. Because what I see is that in your pseudo-class struggle anti-elite fervor, you've already lost. Most of the next cabinet are going to be billionaires. Out of 300 million people, you guys happen to choose the most toxic narcissist of them when there's millions other qualified narcissists to take the job, and you chose the richest bunch among them. They treated you with contempt because you don't synthesize information.